Developing tonight, a pause on federal funding is lifted. A federal judge blocked an order by the Trump administration to temporarily freeze federal grants and loans moments before that order was set to take effect.
The judge's ruling is in place until Monday. The White House says it paused funding to ensure agencies are in compliance with President Trump's executive orders. His administration defending the action, despite Democratic lawmakers saying the president does not have the authority to freeze money that's been approved by Congress.
This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. If you are receiving individual assistance from the federal government, you will still continue to receive that.
Every one of our offices has been deluged with calls from people who are in panic. What is this going to mean?
And Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser joined other states in already filing a lawsuit trying to reverse the temporary freeze before the judge issued his ruling.
And the whole thing sent shockwaves through the nonprofit community and state and local governments, including right here in Colorado. Your political reporter Sean Boyd joins us now. So, Sean, if this pause in funding goes into effect on Monday, how will that impact our state?
It's really unclear at this point. What I can tell you is state government alone received $18 billion in federal funding in 2023. That's about 40% of our entire budget. Cities, counties, and nonprofits in Colorado received hundreds of millions of dollars more. But we don't know how much of that would be paused and for how long. The White House says critical programs, including Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, Head Start, farm assistance, and rental assistance, won't be impacted. We don't know exactly which ones will, which is causing a lot of panic and confusion.
From food banks to foster care, crop protection to public health, federal funding makes up 20 to 40% of Colorado's state budget each year. In 2023, the most recent data available, we received $1.2 billion for K-12 schools, $628 million for transportation, and $380 million for early childhood programs.
These are real people. These are real families.
Senator Jeff Bridges chairs the state's Joint Budget Committee. This year's budget has a shortfall of about $1 billion.
Making those cuts is already hard enough. If we are now losing billions of dollars in federal support and federal investment into our state, that is a whole other scale.
A memo from the U.S. Office of Management and Budget ordered federal agencies to analyze all financial assistance programs to make sure they comply with President Trump's new executive orders, specifically those regarding foreign aid, diversity, equity, and inclusion, the Green New Deal, and, quote, woke gender ideology. Agencies had until February 10th to report those programs and temporarily pause federal funding to them in the meantime.
We've got a crisis of priorities right here in this state. And it seems to me like the President of the United States is saying the same thing about their budget. He's going through and doing basically what I'm going to call strategic budgeting.
State Senator Barb Kirkmeyer, who sits on the Budget Committee with Bridges, says it would have been nice to get a heads up from the administration, but she says there's no reason to panic.
I would tell everybody, take a deep breath. Let us start sorting this out.
But some Medicaid providers in Colorado did panic when they were locked out of a portal they use for authorization for several hours.
We need to know what the real plan here is and what's actually going to happen. You have to be thoughtful. These are people's lives. These are people's livelihoods.
While the memo from the budget office says the pause should be implemented, quote, to the extent permissible under applicable law, Democrats in Congress say the president has no legal authority to stop or pause funding appropriated by Congress. The budget office says the federal government issued $3 trillion in grants and loans last year. But again, it's unclear how much of that funding would be impacted by a temporary pause should it take effect Monday. The judge said she wants to study which organizations would be harmed by any funding freeze, even a temporary one. So stay tuned till Monday.
Yeah, well, a lot more to come from this.
Yeah.
Sean, thank you.